All right, so this guy, Dave McDermott, just spoke to a group of people over at my classroom in New Lenox for 2 hours and 15 minutes on absolute raw, unfiltered legal counsel and advice, totally for free, 100%. I did not pay this dude a single dime. And I don't mean to put his personal business out there, but I will say this is that he's suffering right now from a family emergency, currently active. And Dave, if that put your business out there, I'm sorry, man, but I just have to commend this guy for literally driving out here in the cold, in the, what remained of the blizzard, at night on his own accord, and spoke as an attorney who charges a large sum of money per hour, all totally for free, while going through a real personal experience. And I don't know anybody else who would do that. I do not know a single other attorney, and I'm not saying that you're not out there, but man, we're talking about people's lives. We're talking about how to get through the worst day of your life and the scenarios and the aftermath that will follow through in that horrible day. Look, guys, if you've never been in a life-threatening situation, then cool, that's great. And I hope you never have to be, truly, honestly. But if you could just take a moment and think about the worst day you've ever had in your life, and then imagine getting charged with something like murder or aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, attempted murder. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, I just had to defend myself. That's what we're talking about, is how this dude can navigate the system and guide you safely through it when you're a justified person doing your good, moral, ethical thing. And what was so amazing about tonight, on top of everything else, if that wasn't enough, is that if you were there, you had the chance to experience a courtroom attorney transport you into the seat of a crime. And everybody there was captivated by it, myself undoubtedly included. And that actually brings up really the point of what today's video is actually about, which, so it's about commending Dave McDermott, not your typical attorneys. Dude, mad respect for life. To talk to these people about how to navigate this system. And so this is the point of this video right now. Whenever you see the video, or if you were there, I've talked with Dave many times before. I was like, hey, we'll sit down, we'll just do a quick Q&A and ask some straight up questions and get some answers, and basically just, have a town hall style meeting. And that quickly, as in immediately, it became very evident that, hey, that's not what was going to happen. Dave just started talking, and I'm just like, yep, okay, I'm just going to let him talk. I'm not going to interrupt him. And the reason why is because of the lesson here for today's video. Sometimes a lot of us as people need to just shut the fuck up and listen to what is happening around you. Listen. Shut up in your mind. Shut all your stupid negative thoughts down in your mind and just listen. Sometimes a lot of us need to do that because there's a message being brought to you, but you're so loud in your own mind. We are so loud in our own mind as humans that we fail to always hear it. Very rarely do we actually hear and see and pay attention to the lessons that we're learning constantly all day long in our lives. But we're so loud in our heads because we never shut the fuck up. And then what happens is you would miss out on an opportunity like tonight to hear somebody who represents probably more self-defense cases in the entire United States than anybody else right now. 2 hours and 15 minutes of raw, unfiltered advice and education and knowledge, capped off with a literal I don't even know what you would call it, like a transformative experience where he turned that classroom into a courtroom, where when you talk to police, you saw the movie. One of the best lessons that I learned from his class tonight is that you have actually seen the movie. And so when you're explaining something to police or the dispatch or something like that, or anybody else who has not seen the movie, who did not see it go down, they read the book. That's the difference. Their interpretation is still so open and so wide to any single thing. And I've seen this actually a lot in the communications training that I've done with corporations, where we take two exact identical groups of Legos and then we separate the teams, two different teams or whatever, however many people are there, and we create structures for each team out of the Legos. I do this, very simple structures. And then that team needs to relay via radio communication back to their opposite team the instructions and the guidance needed to build that same structure. And they've all got the exact same Legos. Nobody's ever been able to do it because when we communicate as humans, the telephone game is the most obvious form of, hey, our communication skills kind of suck. And it's because we get really loud up in our own heads and we never bother to pay attention. And so to see him take the classroom and actually be a part of that and to move and morph into this transformative courtroom experience, all would have been negated. Even if I would have had a problem with that not going the way that, I somewhat loosely planned for it to go, if I had a problem with that, which most people would, or not most people, but there are people who would. A lot of the times we get in our own heads about stupid, petty things. But the fact that never even crossed my mind, I was there to listen and learn. And I did, every time. Every time I've talked to this guy, he's never charged me a penny. I've got hours and hours of footage with him now. Like, how many attorneys do you know would literally, after just meeting you one time, say, hey, this is who you are, you're this firearms trainer, you want to help people be safe? Cool. How about I just give you like an entire work day of my life and time and not charge you a single thing? So anyways, sometimes, guys, you need to shut up, and we need to learn how to silence that loud voice in our minds when things are not going our way. You can find every which way for it to not go your way. You can look at every single way, the millions of things all throughout your day. I'm great at this. And I can see exactly why my day isn't going my way. And then I wonder why it keeps falling apart. You can't just try to not see Well, anyways, My point is mad respect out to Dave. Sometimes, guys, we just need to quiet the voice in our mind, because if we don't, then we won't see what's truly in front of us, and the lessons that we can learn, and the relationships that we could truly have with people, one another. It's such a deep thing. It reinforces the soul. Like, I feel it in my chest when I'm a part of these meetings, and I literally see such a diverse group of people. And man, now we're being educated by Dave, and it's raw, unfiltered knowledge. It's everything that everybody needs. So it's a really beautiful thing to see what the Lethality University has already turned into. I'm very excited to see what it can turn into. But just know, guys, the big lesson that I learned for myself from today was sometimes you just got to sit there and roll with it. And crazy, amazing, beautiful experiences can manifest out of that. And I was very lucky to be a part of that today, to be taken into the courtroom with Dave and to actually see this is the guy who is representing me and my family if something ever happens. And I've got absolute faith and confidence in this guy. So that was a really cool thing to be a part of. Yeah, some people were like, they asked me, they're like, were you upset because it wasn't more of a Q&A thing? And my answer is no. Like, I never was upset to begin with. I was there to learn, and man, Dave, I cannot, yeah, well, I think that's all that needs to be said.